Hello, everyone. Today was what I would call basically a picture-perfect session, minus the volume. But why would we have above-average volume on any up day? That would be just insane, wouldn't it? But besides the volume, price-wise, today was as perfect as it gets. I wanted to see Friday's lows hold to give me hope that the uptrend from the February lows wants to just continue without really consolidating heavily. Today we kind of got that. We're not out of the woods yet, so until we break out above the April highs, I won't think that we're out of the woods yet and that we could easily continue to consolidate sideways. But those Friday's lows are very important in the S&P 500, the New York Stock Exchange, the Dow Jones Industrial Average, the Russell 2000, and the NASDAQ. And overall today, perfect. Like I said, volume was missing, but we held the lows. Volume was above average on the NASDAQ, so I'm not going to really be complain about it too much. And just overall, the market still looks fine here. Even if the February lows don't hold, really, those April support levels are really what's the most important to me. We could still easily pull back to this 50, 200-day moving average on the NYSE, and I would be completely fine with the outlook of the market. Same with the SPY hitting the 50-day moving average and diamonds. It's just if we do that on a selling off like this, obviously I would have a change of heart, especially if volume picked up. But for right now, everything is all good. And on that note, I got tons of triggers today, but none is perfect. FLML, this is a huge earnings and sales growth stock. Here's some huge numbers, the most 3 recent quarters. But, it's just not proper enough. SWHC is trying to find a bottom. Cray, pocket pivot point signals, it tries to look for a bottom. Farms attempting a breakout of a cup with handle pattern, maybe an early pocket pivot point signal. I'm not interested in the thin stocks right now. LinkedIn, I would make a new long, but unfortunately, it's not even touching its 5-day moving average, so forget about it. Earnings are out of the way. QLYS was a potential long position this evening, but earnings were after hours, and I think the stock's down to 25 the last time I checked. SSNC was a potential long, but earnings are on the 5th, so I'm not interested in it. PayC was interesting, not really a potential long, but I flagged it. Earnings are tomorrow. AMSG, flagged that one also. Earnings are tomorrow. GTY, flagged that one. Earnings are on the May the 4th. And then FICO, flagged it. Just a little too extended for me overall. Not a huge fan. Not the price isn't touching the 20-day moving average. So with the current overall technical outlook, I just wasn't interested in it. And then RTEC, it's nice, but it's a speculative name and it's still in the middle of a big trading range, so not really interested. And then there were stocks like VYGR, more speculative, XGTI, which I definitely think everyone should be watching intraday for intraday breakout. It starts to get above 10, you start to see momentum, any kind of pulling back and basing, further breakouts. This is definitely one that looks like it's ready to absolutely run. Blocks is still a stock I'm watching that I want to get long. It has a 99 EPS rating, so it's a big one. PKY, big move today following on that Friday move with big volume. IYZ, VOX, telecommunication services stocks look really good. SONS, NAVB, 2 more speculative stocks that look good. And HZN has earnings tomorrow, or else this one would have been a potential long position as it doesn't risk much before I know I'm wrong. And so when you take all those signals along with no full sell signals, and if you look at our partial sell signals, none were crazy. EPIQ is confirmation, closed below the 20-day moving average in the most recent support level. It's still holding this low here, but once again, this market kind of sucks. This was our new long position right here on this day. Boom, you can see why we took it. The next day, an immediate 8.58% gain. You think that we're going to have a 20% gain in a couple of weeks, right? Wrong. Instead, it's pulled back every day since then, and so now we just got out a half of it with just small gains, but it's a half sell, small gains if you got your limit order filled from the day before and or you're flat. And that's just shitty considering how it started, but it is the way that this market is. OLLI is closing below the 50-day moving average on an end-of-day basis. It's a 50% sell signal. I'll be moving my half of my stop up to 24.76. And then EDUC is also a 50% sell signal on an end-of-day basis. I'll be moving half of my stop up to 13.25. Hoping it doesn't trade. Hopefully we get a gap up in the morning. I don't get knocked out of EDUC or OLLI. But based on the end-of-day methodology, EDUC is a sell in the market. at the open market, so it was OLLI and EPIQ, which I'm already out of half. But besides that, everything looks good. And as you can see with all three of those names, none of the pullbacks were extremely terrible. It's just a very volatile tape, which then now leads us to our new long positions for Tuesday. Once again, none of these, I don't love any of them, but I like them all enough that I want to take them. And the first one we'll do is SFST. This is a CanSlim quality stock. It was a new long position on this day. I didn't take it because of how thin it was, but you can see here it's near to the 50-day moving average. You can see that the price is touching the 10 and 5, and I think it almost touched basically the 20. Yeah, it almost touched the 20. So overall, it's good enough for me. It's good enough, bottom line. But I passed on it because I'm an idiot, and everything that I pass on that I don't touch ends up running. SFST continues to trend higher. So what I want to do is I want to get a new long position here, especially that BOP's increased each day, and we've had pocket pivot point signals the following 2 days. But I don't want to pay more than about $25.50. So I'm going to put in a limit order at $25.50. It either gets hit or it doesn't. I'm not going to cry over spilled milk if it doesn't get hit. But SFST is definitely a name that now I wish I would have gone long, so I want to get long. But SFST is only a CanSlim quality name, so it's 1%. Then we have VLRS. This isn't a perfect long signal. You can see here that there's no green BOP on today's signal, no big surge in BOP or in volume. But all of these pocket pivot point signals have been amazing. And back here, we went long VLRS. I believe it was back here. This was the day we went long VLRS. And unfortunately, it tried to shake us out in December. It finally knocked us out in January. But since then, the stock's up 29%. So if we don't have a volatile market, this stock is probably still a long position by now. So to me, it's really a rebuy day, but it's a new long position. Earnings we don't have to worry about. I think they're out of the way and or they're in the future. I can't remember. I just know that's not recently. So VLRS, pocket pivot point signal, no green BOP, but look at how much we risk if we're wrong. You can have your first sell stop right at 2083 and your final one at 2050. You're only going to lose about 2.5% on your capital if you're wrong. So VLRS, that's going to join SFST. Those are both 2%ers, and so those are the two small longs. Then there's LABL. Now, LABL is a former Perfect Speculator scan quality name. I don't know if it's currently CanSlim or if it's ex-CanSlim, but that's what scan it showed up in, and it showed up in my daily volume surge. So this stock is extended a tad from every moving average. As you can see, it's not touching the 10 or 20, which I told you I'm requiring. But look at the volume and BOP surge. That's the biggest volume surge on this chart. And look at the BOP surge. It goes to max green. And then look at how much we risk if we're wrong. About 2% if it goes below 59.46. We know that we're wrong. We reevaluate the position on LABL. So as it is, LABL is a new long position. It's going to be 2% for CanSlim, and since it was confirmed the daily volume surge and we don't risk that much, I'm going to go and move it up to 3%, especially considering back here in October, it was an ex-Perfect Speculator scan quality stock, and I think it was in the top Perfect Speculator scan quality name, not just the pre-Perfect Speculator scan quality name, so it was very, very high quality. So LABL, I'm going to go ahead and do 3% in that. VLRS is going to be 2%. And then SFST is going to be 2%, working limit orders only. And then also ABTX is basically kind of giving a half-ass ad signal. It's a chaser, this ad signal. So once again, it's only if I can get my limits hit. I would not be buying it up here. It's just too extended. But I tell you what, once again, it's hard to pass on the surge and BOP from yellow to immediately max green on huge volume with the price closing near its high of the day. So I can't pass on ABTX, but 2093 was the breakout level, 2094. So I don't think I'm going to be able to get it, but I'm going to set limits at 2094. If it hits it, awesome. If I don't get hit, whatever. ABTX moved without me. I made the mistake of setting stop limits on this stock, which is too thin to do that on, and I got shaken out on the 21st, or else I would still have my entire position from the initial long signal, which I believe is actually back here, and I would be up 14% by now. Live and learn. But that's it. Market's looking good for right now. It's not looking great, but hey, At least there's some more long signals with very little risk and some big potential rewards.